What's up, guys? Welcome back to News for You with me, Tracy. And now today, we are going to be talking about how TikTok is here to stay. We're also going to touch on illegal takeover of properties in Uganda, as well as Ugandan youth must stand on business. And the Grammys are coming to East Africa. All of that and so much more coming up tonight. Stay tuned. The US and China have reached a deal to keep TikTok operational in the US, as President Trump announced. Now, TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance had been ordered to sell its US operations or face a ban, but the deadline had been extended several times, and the newest extension has been until December 16th of this year. Now, under the agreement, TikTok's US business will be controlled by a consortium, including Oracle and Silver Lake, with US investors holding about 80% and Americans dominating the board. Now, the app will use technology licensed from ByteDance, including its recommendation algorithm. China confirmed that it will approve the deal only if its firm's interests are protected, including the export of technology. Guys, TikTok is here to stay. Let's just face it. I think they've realized that TikTok is necessary. We need it. And basically, they've kicked out the Chinese in a nice way. Parliament's Lands Committee has opened a major probe into the illegal takeover of properties that was once under the Departed Asians Property Custodian Board, the DAPCB. Now, early findings reveal that over 1,000 properties may have been wrongfully repossessed by some Indian nationals, sparking outrage among the legislators. Now, the committee put the DAPCB chairman on the spot, grilling him over allegations of gross mismanagement, irregular transactions, and failure to protect public assets. Now, lawmakers say that this probe aims to recover the properties, hold culprits accountable, as well as restore transparency in the handling of assets meant to benefit Ugandans. The question is, why now? They came back around like the 90s, early 2000s. So why now is this something that is being reopened? You guys let us know what you think in the comments. The Electoral Commission chairperson has called on young Ugandans to reject manipulation and to refuse to be used as foot soldiers in violent political schemes ahead of the 2026 general elections. He cautioned against trading their power for small financial handouts, saying such actions compromise their democratic rights. He raised a concern over the rising monetization and violence in Uganda's elections, warning that the practices could ruin the spirit of democracy enshrined in the Constitution and threaten free, fair, peaceful polls. Guys, please, let's stand on business. Let's not be manipulated. Let's not give in to small financial handouts. Remember, your vote is your voice. And how can you utilize that properly if you're being manipulated or if you're being paid to do things that are not right? So let's stand our ground and not fall for this. And also, let's do our part to contribute towards a peaceful election as opposed to how it's now become defined as violent. Kenya has invested 3.9 million USD to bring the Grammy brand to Africa after securing a deal with the Grammy Global Ventures to set up the first African Grammy hub. The headquarters will serve as the African base for Grammy-related events, talent programs, as well as industry collaborations. Now, government officials clarified that this does not mean that the Grammy Awards will be held in Kenya, but that the country will host the African arm of the Recording Academy's operations. Supporters say the project will give African artists access to global networks and opportunities, boosting the continent's creative industry. However, some critics have questioned spending such a large amount of money amid economic challenges. You guys let us know what you think about this in the comments. Are you for it or are you a critic against us? It's time for sports, and our favorite duo is here to give us the latest. Let's go to Sarah and Bashir.
Hi.
What up?
So today I'm with Sarah Yawe, guys.
Yes.
Celeb. Usually every time I just watch her on TV. Today I'm on set with her.
No,
You know what?
not just on TV, even on the basketball court. Come
Listen,
on.
I'm coming there.
Mind the people world, won't you?
Allow me.
Okay.
To
Let's do
introduce-
it again. Let's do it again.
Allow
Hi,
me
guys.
to introduce to you Sarah Yawe, basketball player, media personality, influencer, Oh my God.
Etc., etc.
Etc., etc., etc. So today we're going to do some sports updates with her. Of course, she's a basketball player. She's been following the basketball games here and there. But before we get to that, we have the Champions League updates. Of course, we had games last night. We had Manchester United fan. Unfortunately,
don't even bring me. Don't take me back there. Literally, we lost Onana. Now we thought things are going to get better, but clearly, Ruben Amorim, his system is not working. But we're going to give the man time.
They're not even in the Champions League. They're not in any competitions. But yeah, Arsenal had a game last night. I mean, against Athletic Club, that Arsenal won 2-0. Obviously, courtesy of the substitutes that came in, Trossard and Martinelli. An impressive start to say for the Champions League. What do you think, Sarah?
Honestly, I'm not a big follower of the Champions League, but I will tell you I'm excited for the games that are later on tonight. So I'm putting my money on some teams like PSG, of course. I'm putting my money on Liverpool. I don't know, because all the ones they've been getting even in the Premier League are not been convincing.
It looks like they've been fluking.
Yes, they've been fluking. The
luck has always been on their
every
side.
Time it's almost the 90th minute, they give them extra time. Then there's a penalty. So I don't know much about them winning, but definitely putting my money on PSG.
I mean, PSG they won the Champions League last season, so they were in the Club World Cup. They lost to Chelsea in the finals, but they're a promising team. They have a good squad. So yeah, I think that will be an amazing performance and amazing games to look out for tonight. Enough of the football. We have someone who is more passionate about some other game, and
the game that I love.
The game that she loves, she plays, she talks about. Oh my God.
Listen, I dream, sleep, live basketball, and I'm here to give you those updates. Listen, if you've not been making your way to the Lugogo Indoor Arena, come on, remind these guys. They need to download the
Guys,
Afromobile
get the
app.
Afromobile app.
Yes.
The games are live on the
NBS
go.
Sport, on the go. You can
on
literally
the palm
just
of your hands.
Watch the game live. Anyway, Final Four. I can even not take you back to the quarterfinals, because those ones also had us at the edge of our seats. We had a couple of shockers in there, especially for the ladies. Magic Stormers Club making history for the first time this season, making it to the Final Four. We'll get there. The ladies
By the way,
in action.
before we get there, congratulations on making a new team this season.
Thank you, merci beaucoup. The Kaya Rangers also in the quarterfinals, but we were not able to make it to the semi-finals. The UC Lady Cannons did, do what they had to do, made it to the semi-finals. That is not it. The ladies are not in action this week. Someone might be wondering why not. The U23 3N3 team has traveled to China for World Cup.
Oh, nice.
A lot of ladies games are not on this week, maybe until later next week, but the gents are playing, and they were in action yesterday. Now Mongo Blazers, UC Cannons in the game 1 of the semi-finals. Summit, the new club on the block, the new club in the top tier in the National Basketball League, making it to the Final Four, playing City Oilers, and they shocked them yesterday, 74. Listen,
I think when Summit just got into the league this season, there were actually talks that, you know what, this is a team that would go far. I mean, with how they started, they look like they know what they're doing. The players were executing. They're doing the right thing.
And listen, it didn't even look like that in the first round. It happened. It started to pan out like that in the second round, because they had added 2 key players. Fataki Nyembo has been super interesting to watch. You talk about Peter Cheng, you talk about Tembo as well, Kasaraki. Those 3 players have been lifting the team. They've looked like completely different beasts. Mark Ngowi came in late in the game yesterday, but scored 17 points off the bench. 13 of those 17 came in the fourth quarter. Listen, City Oilers looked like they've not played really well, especially defensively, and Summit made them pay. So that game ended 86 in favor of Summit, 274 for the City Oilers. However, Namongo Blazers also leading the series for the semi-finals, winning game 1 yesterday against UC Cannons. I feel like
one of the teams you support, by the way.
Yes, I felt like UC Cannons gave us Namongo Blazers and gave us a good semi-final showdown. We felt like both teams wanted it. They were playing really well. I felt like UC Cannons came in late in the game to pick up their socks and get to their feet and do the job. No worries, 68-60 was the end of the game result, but you felt like UC Cannons are definitely going to ask more questions to Namongo in game 2 on Friday.
Guys, all we have to do is download the Afromobile app and wait on Friday. Or you can as well be at the arena yourself and support your teams.
Yeah, listen, 10K entrance.
Just that. Yeah. Small pocket change.
Yeah, definitely. But those are the semi-final matchups for the men. For the ladies, I know they're not on, but this is what they look like for the semi-finals. JKL Lady Dolphins, who are the defending champions, will be taking on UC Lady Cannons. Now that semi-final clash is a repeat, you could say, of last year's finals, a couple of finals, by the way. Somewhere we've seen UCU come back and even win. This time around, we don't know what's going to pan out, but that is one of the semi-final clashes. And then the second one for the women is JT Lady Jaguars taking on Magic Stormers, who, like I mentioned at the beginning, did shock a bigger team, KCCA Leopards, this season to make it to the Final Four.
And maybe if you can give us a confirmation, I mean, there is already word that there's a team that's going to represent Uganda in the BAL. Could you? Yeah.
So the FUBA president, who is Nasser Njoji, did appear on Press Box on NBS Sport this week on Monday, and he did mention that they did write to the BAL because there's been a drag in the National Basketball League, and we needed to have finished earlier on so that they can submit a champion. However, there's been delays, so they did write to the BAL and to FIBA, the FIBA body, requesting for more time, but FIBA has not been responsive. However, he did mention that by end of week, if FIBA or the BAL hasn't responded, then they have no choice but to send the defending champions, and that is City Oil for the BAL.
Yeah.
A bit of controversy, but it is what it is. Yeah. Once the president says this is what we're going to do, that's what we're going to do.
That's how it goes, guys. Yeah. So yeah, that has been me and Sarah from the Sports Update. Bye.
And that is a wrap for today, guys. As always, please do leave a like, comment, share, and let us know your thoughts. Yeah, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.